Heavy rains, which for almost 3 weeks went non-stop in Colombia, did not pass without a trace. In western Colombia, such precipitation has led to landslides, as a result of which people died and suffered. The largest of these occurred in the city of Pereira. The landslide killed at least 14 people and injured 35 others. Officials said one person was missing, and the search continues for the missing person. Pereira Mayor Carlos Maya, who confirmed the death toll, warned that the risk of landslides remained in the area and urged people to leave the city to avoid further casualties. Local residents from 60 houses are known to have been evacuated. Firefighters and rescuers continue to work at the scene. Heavy torrential rains over the past few weeks in Indonesia have led to a sharp rise in river levels. Dozens of houses in the village of Kapar, Jatinegara district, Tegal Regency, were flooded, with the flood level reaching a height of 1.5 meters. This is due to the overflow of the Kakaban River basin and its overflowing. Local media report that no one was injured as a result of this disaster, but, according to preliminary estimates, the property of many residents was damaged. This flash flood also flooded the rice fields of the locals. Many roads are blocked by floods, traffic is paralyzed. It is impossible to determine the damage from the flood itself, since water is still accumulating in the flooded area and it is still very problematic to get to some areas. A major eruption occurred on the Sangay volcano in Ecuador. The volcano threw ash to a height of 5 kilometers during a strong eruption recorded at 9:30 local time. Significant ashfall occurred in nearby settlements, covering vehicles, houses and agricultural crops. The authorities called on local residents to remain calm and take measures to protect their health. During ashfall, you should limit your stay on the street. If you need to leave the house, use a protective mask. During the eruption of the Sangay volcano in September 2020, more than 11,000 hectares of crops were affected, which affected the lives of 24,000 farmers. The Sangay volcano is located east of Andean Ridge and is the southernmost of the volcanoes in Ecuador, remaining the most active, and it is characterized by lava flows and pyroclastic flows, as well as ash and gas emissions. Brazil continues its worst drought in decades. While some regions are being flooded with heavy rains, thousands of people are suffering from floods and landslides. The south of Brazil is suffering from an incredible drought. Brazil, one of the agricultural giants of the world, is experiencing the worst drought in almost a century. According to local media, the lack of rain brings huge losses to farmers, and the government has to switch to more expensive energy from thermal power plants, which in turn exacerbates inflation. Due to the drought in the country, food and electricity prices have already risen. As a result, inflation reached double digits. The disaster also affected the agricultural sector. A rich harvest in the country is no longer expected. However, like the rain, they, according to forecasts, will not be at least another 2 weeks. Following orange warnings issued by the Meteorological Directorate General in Istanbul, heavy rain damaged Pendik Gökbeli. Due to the flooding of the stream, the surrounding greenhouses were flooded. Fruits and vegetables in greenhouses that meet the needs of Istanbul. In 6 hours, 50 millimeters of rain fell. It seems not much, but this amount was quite enough for the flood level to rise to 40 centimeters in some places. Local residents noted that earlier after strong rains there were no floods, and that the construction of a new bridge and a decrease in the stream bed were to blame. It is not yet possible to assess the extent of the damage due to the lack of access to some areas. A heavy snowstorm hit the Greater Toronto area in Canada on the night of February 9. On highways, cars, trucks and buses get stuck in the snow. This is the second sudden winter storm to hit Toronto this month. Recall that the first winter storm was recorded on January 18, 2022, and brought heavy snowfall, which left behind snowdrifts up to 60 centimeters in height. This winter storm was not so strong. Wind gusts did not exceed 25 meters per second, and the snow cover in places reached 40 centimeters. The police were forced to block the main highways. An extreme weather warning is in effect across much of southeast Canada. According to meteorologists, up to 60 centimeters of snow will fall in Toronto within 2 days. The rains that took place the day before in Istanbul caused a sinkhole in one of the districts of the city. The collapse occurred in front of a 3-story building in the Kadıköy district. Surveillance cameras that recorded the moment of failure show how a passerby fell into this failure. After the collapse, a hole 5 meters deep was formed. Residents living in the building near which this event occurred were evacuated. Firefighters, police and paramedics arrived at the scene. The man was saved, but he escaped with only a fright. The fire brigade and police units took precautions in the surrounding area. Thank you for watching the video. Thanks for supporting the channel. Good wind and weather.